Thank you.
So, Rauji, today's topic would be?
GST 2.0.
अच्छा, okay.
39
sorry,
बोलेंगे
मेरा
तो
phone-
लोग पकड़ेंगे, बोलेंगे मारो मारो मारो।
क्यों? अरे आपने अच्छा किया ना, आपने सब टैक्स घटा दिया।
हाँ,
या 18 से 5 एक्यूमुलेटेड आईटीसी जो भी हो, कोई बात नहीं।
क्या बोला? Their first objective was to reduce, to eliminate the inverted duty structure,
Yes.
and they have created many inverted duty structure.
That is the best part. Structural reforms reduce anomalies in inverted duty structure. Actual implementation 18 से 5 कर दो
हाँ,
and bring in circular 135.
हाँ.
सिंगल गुड्स पे घटा तो नहीं होगा, बस खत्म। Let's wait for 2 more minutes and then start.
And there is so much accumulated ITC wherein the rates have decreased.
Yeah.
In
of
case
course.
of automobile, they would be saddled with 10% additional ITC which is there in the stock.
Then cess का तो issue है ही है, but on cess I think
हाँ.
government is thinking of having a मतलब transition to some other things and all. मतलब CGST SGST में allow करेंगे कि नहीं? All those things are being discussed.
The automobile lobby is a very strong lobby.
Yes.
You see that most of the, if any industry has got most clarification, it is the automobile industry.
इतना पैसा देते हैं ना भर भर के।
हाँ.
28% cess, this, that. Morning,
Yes,
Vishal.
sir.
Good morning,
Morning,
everyone.
sir.
Good
Morning,
morning,
sir.
Paul sir. Good morning, Nitin bhai.
Morning,
Anand ji.
Arup sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, Paul ji.
Good morning,
Arpit
sir.
bhai.
Good morning, Vishal sir. Morning.
Anand ji. Nitin
Good
ji.
morning, Deepak.
good morning, good morning. Shivji.
तो
So in
विशाल जी आप
sir.
खुश है ना जीएसटी 2.0 से?
हाँ, sir.
जीएसटी 2.0 से आप खुश हो ना?
Yes, sir. I'm happy. Only I was expecting some more relief for compliance and something in relation to appeal. I was expecting amnesty.
Appeal amnesty I think थोड़ा सा challenge because we are speaking तो थोड़ा सा challenge है उसमें.
Sir, magar the number of litigations which are
हाँ,
there,
वो that is
firstly, the
increasing.
quality of litigation is very bad.
Very
Means
bad.
the content, the nature of demand, and then even if now they have announced tribunal, but sir, how long that tribunal will be there means take time to resolve all these disputes.
So that is also thing.
So
Chaliye, then it's
let's see.
9 o'clock. So good morning everyone and welcome to yet another edition of SMS. So today, as per our plan, it was Deepak ji was supposed to take section 39. But as you all know, there are some happening events on September 3rd. And because of which we had to change the direction of the car to GST 2.0. So over to Deepak ji. Before that, Arpit ji, a few words from you and then we'll go to Deepak ji.
Good morning, everyone. And as Aruji said that now it is GST 2.0, wherein the most of the rates have been reduced, and the primary intention of the government was to first to remove the inverted duty structure, and second was to give the benefit to the taxpayer. So on the first point, they have. I don't think that these reforms have met the criteria that they have reduced the inverted duty structure. They have somewhere down the line increased the IDS. And although from the taxpayer point of view, customer, there seems to be major relief. And a similar relief which I can think of was on 15th of November 2017, wherein majority of 28% items were brought to 18%. And about 60 to 70% items are brought from 28 to 18%. So now the branding has been done as GST 2.0. So we will be going with the branding and handing over the session to Deepak ji for today's session.
thank you, Arpit ji. So when it comes to discussion on this topic, I think everyone is aware of it, right? So I will feel like I'll be yes.
Deepak, sorry, I'm interrupting. I think you should remove the background. I don't know whether tomorrow anybody can take some.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
the
ICI background, huh? So
Yes,
just
yes. Right.
because we are going to stream it also. So just
Yes.
yeah, thank you.
thank you. Please. So when it comes to 56 council meeting, I have deliberately mentioned it as 56 GST council meeting because I don't know if it is actually GST 2.0 or no. Just some tinkering here and there. Not overall thing what we had expected is come, but okay, they wanted to keep up the word of the Prime Minister, and that's why they've got this lot of reductions. So that's why I will just stick on to 56 GST Council meeting. They have branded it, they have popularized it very much, saying that historical GST Council meeting, GST 2.2 and things like that. But whether it is actually that or no, we will have to see because they've given a time till 22nd, right? So lot of changes are the finance directors or the MNCs will have to plan up, saying that how they can plan or take the benefit of how we were discussing on cess. How do you kind of recoup it, because now it is gone? So what will you do with the if there is no clarification on what should be done, so then it is a loss. So would it have any impact, or should they do something before 22nd? Various options are available. So with all this stalwarts here, so my objective here is just to drive it. So I will raise some pointers and we will discuss it, because we will not go to the nitty gritties or will not go to sector specific, rate specific. We'll go to the pointers saying that what could happen in terms of any impact. So first scenario is that what happens in case of supply of goods which are procured at old rates, right? So you have bought it at a trader has bought it at a old rate, and now after 22nd he has to sell it at the new rate. Okay, so say hypothetically the value of the goods is 100 rupees. Earlier the supplier used to charge 18%, now he will charge say 12%. So
5%.
will the 5%, yeah, 12% is not there, no, correct. So 5% he will charge. So in that scenario, will the customer be okay to say that, okay, sale price is same and 5%? I'm not talking about a B2B customer. I'm talking about a B2C customer who is not able to claim the credit. What will be the, he will just argue saying that, no, you have not reduced the price, you have just reduced the GST rate. What should be the defense of the trader here?
Yeah. So hi Deepak ji, am I audible? Sir Saravana here. So I'll just share my views on this. So first, I'll give the answer in 3 stages. First is, can the dealer sell it at the old rate itself? Prima facie, the answer is no. Of course, Section 14 comes into play, but prima facie answer is no. So this is as far as the output supply is concerned. So the second part of my answer is with respect to ITC. So assuming he has brought it at a higher rate and now selling it at a lower rate from 12 to 5, let's assume. So what happens? The balance 7%. So is the ITC available? So in such reduction scenarios, answer is yes. Of course, you have to look at the exemption scenario, but in rate reduction scenario, the excess ITC is available. There is no loss per se here. Exemption is altogether different ball game. Second answer. So third one, now the additional question comes whether for the 7% IDS refund is available. So the FAQ and Circular 135 says no. Circular 135 itself is like, I mean, read down, not struck down, read down in many cases in various high courts. So the balance 7%, whether ITC is there, but is refund available? The FAQ and Circular seems to say no, but I have my own views on that. And prima facie, my answer seems to be possible. It is possible. There is no contradiction or, negative thing in the law per se, and it should be available. So these are my 3 answers. So I request again other members to contribute also.
Okay, so what, see, if the ITC is available when I procured it at 18%, right? And when I'm selling it, I have claimed the ITC at 18%. Should the ITC of higher rate be passed on to the customer? That is the specific question.
Can we check whether in this cases also this we have to pass on the benefit? Is it mandatory for us to pass on the benefit to the ultimate customer, or can we stick to the MRP based pricing?
No, Ramandeep,
MRP, we'll take it separately. We'll take it as a non-MRP, then we'll come to MRP, because both are different scenarios. We'll first stick to non-MRP based.
Okay.
No,
So
Ramandeep, I think I think if you say about the mandatory passing on of the credit, whatever is there, or the reduction in
Benefit,
the
yeah.
the benefit should be passed on. Though there is a sunset clause in section 171, which says
Correct.
from 1st
Correct.
April 2025, DGAP will not take any further applications for this. But
Right.
maybe a mechanism will be inserted wherein it will to put in check, whether the benefit of the lower rate has been passed on or not, because this is coming with a huge rate reduction across sectors. So where will
No,
the customer go if he's not getting the benefit of the reduced rate? So that is again another thing.
Arupji agreed your point, but let me just argue from the point of view
Okay.
that as an trader, as in a business community, why? I mean, where is this restriction to me? I mean, I can charge whatever price I may be allowed to charge. If I wish to charge at the same price, is there any restriction in the law to? I mean, in 171, as you said, it has a sunset clause.
No, that's what I said. I think in the law, I could not find any restriction on this.
Yes, yes.
But again, the government will see to it that the benefit of the thing, the benefit of the reduced rate will pass on, as Venuji is also shared, that when you had purchased it, that means your cost was lower, or maybe you are selling it at a lower cost when the 18% rate was there. So now when the 5% rate comes, suddenly you cannot increase that price. So that may be a challenge that the department will take. Otherwise, the very purpose of rate reduction, which is
Yes.
to lower the cost of the goods, for the local market as well as for the export markets, that will also not be fulfilled. That objective will not be fulfilled.
Aruji, what I think is that since section 171 is not there, so legally, in absence of a similar provision of section 171 being brought back somehow, okay, this restriction, this condition cannot be implemented, and I can't see section 171 to be the sunset clause to be removed and it brought back somewhere down the line in some other act. They might be making an amendment so as to make it mandatory for passing of the benefit of ITC, although not in GST, because there are some restrictions and some timelines to be followed for making the amendment. So somewhere down the line, there might be an alternative, because unless until that is brought, the trader cannot or business person cannot be forced to pass on the ITC. Yes, on a basis that since you have received, you should have passed on. So on a moral basis, yes, but on legal basis, unless until the amendment is there, it seems difficult. But in my opinion, somewhere down the line, amendment would come in some other act or GST.
Sir, I have a different perspective on this.
Yeah.
Sir, even if let us say amendment comes, I think it should have come immediately, because I think we are all targeting the next 2 months of the festive season to have that rocking effect of this, right? After that, things will stabilize and people will even forget because they will become normalized with the rates. Second thing, what I understand is that now I believe government has opened it to the market forces to decide what every supplier wants. Because see, even in case of anti-profiteering clause, had it been in place, the challenge would have been at what price you have purchased, how much is becoming your cost. Identifying was very difficult because every business had a different combination of cost and revenue. So I believe that there will be no amendment, or there will be no enforcement of this anti-profiteering in any manner, and the government wants to leave it to market forces, to every trader to decide what you want, you can charge, and automatically the trader who is offering the best price would benefit, because nowadays consumers are also very proactive. They keep on looking out different options online also and offline also.
Sir, may I, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is section 171 not there? Or is there a sunset clause in section 171? From the section, please.
Yeah. So, Guruji, I'll probably give my views on this. So, section 171 is very much there. So, if I'm right, one of the provisions or proviso in that section has been inserted to enable the government to issue a notification specifying the sunset clause.
Yes. Yes.
And notification 18, or if I'm not wrong, 19 of 2024 has specified this date of 1/4/2025. So that is what, in fact, I was giving my view that supposedly this notification is resigned, it can be brought back, but the government doesn't seem to want to resign this notification. So what you pointed out,
they can issue a fresh notification having a new date. Proviso just says that government can have a date by notification. So they'll have a fresh notification saying a new date and everything is there.
Yeah, in suppression of
Politically,
this.
the FM has been giving interviews all across the political spectrum. The interviews are there that they will start checking immediately from September 22nd whether the rates have been reduced or not. So it just I believe notification may just come changing the date. We can't say that Section 171 is not there or Act would need to be amended.
Absolutely.
It is just a proviso which says that yes, government can specify the date by notification, and there is already a notification specifying a date. So if a new date notification comes specifying a new date, I believe that can overcome that proviso. Is that not so, sir?
Yes, sir, absolutely, sir. What you said is bang on, spot on. But Vishal was also trying to point out the indicators seem to be, initial indicators at least seem to be that they don't want, the government is not in the intention to probably revive or, give a new date. And probably it is leaving it up to market forces, or we can say a moral obligation to pass on. There's no legal obligation, which is, I think, contemplated by the government, is what I understand. Of course, probably we'll have to see the evolving situation.
Sir, Arup sir, with your permission, and of course Deepak Kothari sir,
Yes, sir,
you
yes,
are
sir.
handling the session, you are presenting the session. May I share 2 points? One would be regarding this, another would be beyond this. Deepak ji might be coming on to later.
Yes.
So today there is a interview published of FM in the Times of India, and the highlight of that interview is this only, that she says that we will come out strongly. We will start checking immediately from September 22 whether prices have reduced or not. And the other point for which I was seeking permission from Deepak ji and Arupta was,
Yes.
one of the questions and the answer was regarding the cess.
Yes. Transition
And
provisions.
she has said that there will be some transition mechanism there, and the board is working on it. So her intention in that interview is very clear, that they will start checking whether the prices have been reduced or not. How they will do that is not there. One of the mechanisms can be just issuing a notification extending the date for 171. They may adopt other measures. We'll have to wait and see. But the intention, I believe intention is there to check it. We can't assume that intention is not there. The FM's interview is there, published today itself.
And the intention also comes from the speech that, the purpose of this rate reduction is to increase volume offtake. And volume offtake will lead to consumption spending and all those is there. But volume offtake tabhi hoga when the prices are reduced. Because as we see yesterday only, we are hearing TV ads coming in that, 10% reduction in the price of TV. So they are not saying GST ghata hai. So they are coming out with all this discount on TV.
That's the reason this question came. Will the customer kind of say that since you have claimed ITC at a higher rate, right? And now you have to pass on that benefit. Of course, today in the fine prints, in the council meetings, we don't have anything. But in the FAQs and other things, they are saying that, yes, they will see to it that the benefit is passed on. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But for now, I think there's no clarity.
Yes.
One thing
if
more
I
that
ask a question.
it would be difficult for 171 to be enhanced in the perspective what I'm saying, because what they have said that 1st April 2000 they would not be accepting any further cases. So if any time limit is extended for the 171, it would be extended for accepting the time limit. So the rate of benefit is to be passed on, say, next 3 months. So they would have to give another 3 months or 4 months for the filing of the case. And secondly, it would not only be limited to this rate change. It would be covering all the cases from 1st of July 2017. So it seems difficult. One comment was there that Competition Commission might come into place.
Yes.
That was an alternative which was being discussed when this rate change was being made.
Right.
Arupji, if I can just add a question. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. For timing, even if we assume that there is no 171, being in operation and no notifications henceforth, isn't it a sort of an unjust enrichment on the part of the dealers if they don't reduce the price? And if that is so, what is the civil remedies that revenue will have if there is no such provision in the law? Because what has happened is, post the announcement or the press release, certain businesses who have been impacted by the rate reduction have come to a standstill. Rather, on the contrary, I have seen certain ads. For example, Mercedes-Benz India has reduced its prices of E-class Mercedes to the tune of 8 lakh rupees. So business are taking it in a positive manner. But what is the remedy that revenue has if there is no 171? That I would like to know.
No, I think that is what we have discussed. In a considered view, there is no remedy as of now in the Act or the rules or the notification. So we have to see, as Gurjit sir was sharing, maybe if they can think of and then plan to extend the sunset clause date from 1st April 2025 to they make it 1st April 2026. That is one of the options. But again, then there is a lot of discussion on the sunset clause, why it had to be brought in. 5 years have lapsed, 6 years have lapsed. The business needs certainty. All those discussions will again come into the play. So now for the time being, we'll have to take some medicine, I think, and wait for the best medicine to come for the revenue.
Just one point to Girishji, that I mean, this would not at least amount to unjust enrichment, because I am properly representing what the tax rate is, and I am collecting what the effective tax rate is. Only I am increasing my taxable values or the value of sale itself. So it will not amount to unjust enrichment in that case.
No, but you're getting additional margin. No, then because of the tax rate deduction, you are getting an additional margin.
Correct, sir. But I mean, conceptually, unjust enrichment, can it be termed as, I mean, I am getting an over and above the benefit?
Yes, you're getting rich. No, you're getting richer because of the rate reduction. Had the rate reduction had not happened, then you would have earned the previous margin. But now, since the rate reduction has happened, since you're not passing on that marginal benefit to the customer, so because of that, you're getting enriched to that extent. Though I think because there is no provision as of now for levying any penalty, any tax because of this particular thing, I think it will be difficult to prove. Because as many members are saying, they will come on commercial expediency. That there is a commercial decision taken by me that I'll increase the price because maybe my raw material can also increase. That's why I increase the price. Not necessarily that my margins have increased. So all those grounds may be taken.
Aroopji, one more point. In case the rates are from 12 to 18%, like in ready-made garments. So
2,500.
Item exceeding 2,500, they have been jumped to 18%. So in that case, we are suggesting our clients to change the MRP tag. No, their MRP has to be increased.
Yes, there
we have told them the whatsoever unsold stock will be there on 22nd. You can tell your dealers and you can send the new MRP tags there. I think that is fair enough. That has to be done. No? Otherwise, that MRP is not MRP is on the base of 12% up, and no, it will be 18%. That will be thing, no?
Correct. So from that, sir, then you will have to do it for both. Yes,
Deepak, just to interrupt. Sorry, I joined a little bit late, maybe 5-10 minutes later after the start. Just before the session was started, I was reading the newspaper. In the local newspaper in Nasik, the news came about this. If the commensurate reduction is not passed on to consumer, government is going to take action.
That we discussed, sir. Yes, we have discussed that.
Yes. So that already that has been considered, and that's
only in the newspaper. So we are trying to find out where is the legal backing.
I'm just coming to it. In that newspaper, the last para has been produced that some of the business forum where Nirmala Sitaram Madam was considered, probably they are considering again to come back with that 171 procedures.
Right. So we are just anticipating that it may come, sir.
Yes. Okay, sir. Please continue.
Sure. So Malhotra ji, you have said that when the rate is increased from 12 to 18%, yes, you will have to, and even the Legal Metrology Act allows you to revise the MRP. But the same effect should happen when the rate is reduced. So most of the medical products are now 12%, which is got reduced to 0%. So two scenarios. One is when the stock is already there with the retailer or a distributor. What will he do with this? Because MRP is the maximum retail price. Can he reduce the price? I am talking about a scenario after 22nd itself. And second is, of course, where a MRP sticker can be changed. So in the first scenario, will he have to sell it at a lower price?
Actually, sir, under central excise, there was a definition. If we change the MRP, that amounts to manufacture. But here, I think we can change the MRP as and when required, because there is no such provision in the GST Act. Because under earlier central excise, there was a provision where a change of MRP was amounting to manufacture. That was the point anyway.
Deepak sir, I think in case of MRP, they are not forced to sell below MRP because we have seen many cases in the earlier regime and even the various judgments also that selling on MRP does not amount to collecting of any tax. An unjust enrichment provision does not apply in case when goods are sold at MRP. So I think selling below MRP is not at all required. They can very well sell it in MRP. We have argued these cases in various forums also, when sometimes it has held to be an exempt supply. So I think they can very well sell it at MRP, even in the reduction of tax.
Correct, they can. My question is, how is the dealer protected then? If he sells it at MRP pre 2.0 and he sells at the same MRP post 2.0. So legally, we are not talking in terms of a protection, because he may get a notice saying that you have not passed on the rate reduction. So what should be the defense?
No, but here 18.4 will come into the picture. No? In this particular scenario, 12 to 0. 12 to 5 it will not come, but 12 to 0 will come. 18.4 will come into. So I am lapsing my ITC also.
Right. So my ITC goes off. So that should be a defense saying that my ITC is wiped away, so I don't have to reduce the MRP. Yeah. What about a case scenario where it is reduced from 12% to 5%?
Yes. So there it is, because it will become a challenge. There it will become a challenge because in fact, the trade is already started. They have already started about calculating the MRPs and all revised them. In some of the cases, what they'll do is FMCG, they increase the quantity wherever it's a new going forward. But for the stock which is in hand, they'll have to come up with stickers which will maybe change the things. And some of the trade bodies already, they are working on the reduction of the MRP only, especially in pharma. We had a meeting here only yesterday with the trade body related to pharma. So they have said that they are going with two things. One, some of the players, they are thinking of giving commercial credit note for 12 to 5. That commercial credit note they'll give, so that the retailer does not get accumulated ITC challenge. So they are taking the hit. So they are saying whatever, because the major challenge in this pharma is that when it's coming from 12 to 5, that 7% is getting blocked for me entirely. So, or even it's like if the higher rate is there to 18 to 5, so that is becoming a challenge. So that is one thing. And apart from that, another thing is that pharma companies, they are going to reduce the MRP only. What they have shared at least yesterday in the meeting.
Sir, can they reduce the MRP? Can they give the credit note for this purpose?
Sir,
I don't think,
not GST credit note, commercial credit.
But ultimately, then the manufacturer or the super stockist, they have to take the burden of that.
Manufacturer is taking the hit, because he knows that he does not give the support to the wholesaler now. Wholesaler business is not sustained. उसका एक जन के पास 1.5-2 करोड़ का क्रेडिट है, कहाँ से भरेगा?
Sir, if we recall the time when GST was introduced, and you may recall at that time also some notification even in this act, specific act has came which mentioned that they can fix the sticker and that would amount to a reduced MRP.
Yes.
So probably the similar situation, the similar notification would also come in this particular case, and that reduced stickers will tantamount to this MRPs, and in that way they will take care of this. Reduction.
That notification for alteration, because that time there was a prohibition to alter the MRP, sir. So in that situation, what should be done? So they gave an exemption. Yes, they can alter that sticker, or they can affix another sticker over it, notifying a lower rate. So that was that. Yeah. But now the question is, whenever even in some of my clients' case, the rate has come from 12 to 0. So there is a stock nearly 20 crores at the dealer's point. Then what should be done? That is the main issue, sir.
So there we are returning the goods. Sir, in some of the cases we are returning the goods.
Yeah.
Sir, there is one more problem. In case of 12-0, there's people are at loss basically. You know, they will have to reverse their entire ITC
Correct.
and will have to, and the balance ITC will be left. Supposing
Correct.
a pencil manufacturer is only selling pencils, which has become zero. So there is a huge loss to them. There is a huge loss to them because all the accumulated, earlier they were taking inverted duty structure refund. Now after 22nd, I think I read 18.4, which says that after reverting the ITC, balance ITC has to left.
Yes, yes.
That will
It will be
be,
lapsed.
these scenarios are really very dangerous for those manufacturers whose rates are from 12 to 0. And they are, particularly when they are selling only one item which has become exempt. If there are some other items, then there can be.
So
There
now,
can be.
Yes.
now, sir, government wants us to diversify our business. Multiple.
No. Now, yes, sir. As you said, the department will say, you have to pay for the exempted item. You have to reverse it for the exempted items, and then you forego all the other items ITC. See, for my case, typically that paneer is there. Paneer, it has become exempt. Now, what we have to do, nearly accumulated stocks at the dealer's end, and it's also spread over all over India. We cannot ask them to send back. The cost of transportation will be very high. So, roughly estimated, today morning, a rough estimate that manufacturer had to take a hit of nearly 4 crores as a loss, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir. Sorry for the interruption, sir. Sorry, sir.
Sir, no, nothing is an interruption. Everything is a value addition. Because we are getting national value addition in this group.
Thank you, sir.
Over to you,
Thank you, sir.
Deepak ji. Over to you, Deepak ji.
Sure, sir. So what happens in case of goods which are purchased before 26th, claimed ITC and are sold after 22nd at higher margins? So it's kind of first question, sir. But can I? One is selling at the same price, and second is selling at a higher margin itself. Because ultimately, some businesses operate on a end rate price. So what is the price to the customer? They operate on that. Not a MRP, but the price is decided like all inclusive of taxes. So in that case, the rates have been reduced. Let's not take the scenario of 12% to 0%. Let's take a scenario of 18 to 5 or 12 to 5. And that is being procured. Now it is being sold at a higher margin itself. The selling price itself has been increased. So this I think definitely it's a red flag case that you will be questioned because you had to reduce it. If not reduce, at least sell it at the same price. But you have increased it because I was talking to some dealers. They were saying that this till the 22nd till say 30th, people will take advantage of this and they will start increasing their margins. So that is definitely a risky scenario. Next scenario is, say, in case of footwear and even textiles, wherein the rate of 5% was earlier there for a sale price up to 1,000 rupees. And now it is increased to 2,500 rupees. So is this constituting change of rate? Because the rate remains the same. The slab is getting increased from 1,000 rupees to 2,500 rupees. Will this constitute as a change of rate and we will have to apply section 14?
Yes, sir. It is a change of rate because for item exceeding 1,000, it is a change of rate, sir. It's a change of rate because that is a change, na? It's from 12 to 5 or 5 to 18. So this is a change, sir.
Okay. So with that thing, now what about hotel accommodation? Now hotel accommodation also is similar, wherein accommodation, the rate is same, the price tag is same. That is, your sale value should be below 7,500. Earlier, it was 12% with ITC, and now it is 5% without ITC. So what will be the impact here?
Sir, with your permission, I would like to give a very realistic case. My client has completed just 1.5 years and have consumed all the ITC. He has used everything. he has taken the ITC on capital goods, input and input services at the time, and there was a huge credit. So my question is that since he has not completed 5 years, which we usually considered as an life of an capital goods, whether he may be required to, required to reverse the credit, or since this condition is that they do not need to avail input tax credit came now, so nothing will happen to that credit which has been availed earlier.
So Ramandeep, I think for this we have to go to explanation 4 of notification 11/2017.
Yes.
So since explanation 4 says wherever the ITC is blocked, it will be considered as as an exempt supply for the purpose of Rule 42/43. So there it is saying about where I'm making exempt supply and taxable supply together. But your case is a different case. Yours is where your, the rate is reduced only for the ITC is blocked. So for 18.4, I think this condition will not be applicable. That is the view that I have given. What I mean to say is that whatever explanation 4 is saying, it is only restricted to 17.2. Wherein I'm doing both. I'm supplying taxable supply as well as exempt supply in the same financial year. But
Right.
if I'm going for 18.4, which says if my taxable supply becomes wholly exempt, then I have to reverse the ITC. So in this case, for 18.4, in my view, explanation 4 to 11/2017 will not be applicable. But other members can also share their views.
Arup ji,
Yes, sir.
Deepak ji, Arup ji.
हाँ, बोलिए.
I think I agree. Initially, when I thought 18.4 would apply simply
Yes.
by that exempt word, but 18.4 will not apply because that explanation restricts to 17.2.
Yes.
But the challenge is we'll have to see whether, most of these places already had a restaurant which could be at 5%. And in that case, that Rule 43 drags the reversal to 5 years future.
Yes.
So in that case, now the new ratio of exempt supply will lead to a reversal because that comes under 17.2. But per se 18.4 will not apply because if you had bought some equipment only for the room exclusively, that reversal may not apply even if today the room is sold at below 7.5 without ITC. So we'll have to look at which asset it is, whether it is a common asset, which was let's say a genset was bought for a resort, which is used for the
Yes.
restaurant as well as the rooms, just 1 month before. Then that you will have to continue to reverse basis that restaurant ratio and now the rooms below 7.5 plus restaurant ratio. I'm just saying if it is 5%. So one will have to look at case to case whether that asset is exclusively for rooms or it was already having a reversal trigger even before the rate notification. Because then it comes under 17.2, that Rule 43.
Right.
So for all those assets which are exclusively for the lodging, boarding, or accommodation kind of services, I think we are not supposed to do reversal on under 42/43, considering that explanation and 18.4. Correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So any other views from the house on this? Because this is a common issue which the hotel accommodation clients are
Deepak
asking
ji,
us.
if we are moving ahead, then regarding this, I have one more query or question
Yes, sir.
regarding this. So, sir, say 5% without ITC, it is earlier applicable for passenger transport or even for GTAs, etc. And there, the condition also says that in the same line of business, the ITC can be taken. So there are one or two more categories say, for where this 5% without ITC has now been inserted. So can we hope that the same line of business that would be there when the notification comes?
Yeah, I think even in the press circular, in the press release, they have mentioned for some of the sectors that 5% is the rate and only restricted ITC is used. So they have used this word for the first time, restricted ITC, by which they imply that ITC related to the same trade.
Business. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank
they've
you.
used that in many of the services.
In many of the services that is there, so there is no clarification. So just
No.
hoping that in the notification that would
Yeah, in the
also be
notification should be.
inserted.
Yeah. So that's what
It
we
should
told
be.
our clients. They're asking for opinions. Kya hoga, nahi hoga. So we said, please wait for the notifications to come. Only then can we give written opinions on the transactions. Because many a times we have seen that there is something in the press release and something in the notifications.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, but I think in this case of hotel accommodation, say there is a accumulated credit and now you will have to reverse it. So, what view the house has given is that you don't have to reverse, saying that it is specifically used. But 18.4, if you see, then you will have to reverse. No? How is it not reversible?
Because it is not becoming an exempt supply. It is not notified under notification 11/2017. 2017. It will remain a taxable supply, 5% with ITC. It will be a part of notification 12/2017. So that's why it is not an exempt supply. And if explanation 4 is contended, which is contended with the revenue, then it is only
Yes.
limited to common.
17.2.
Yes, 17.2.
17.
One more issue in this.
Yes, yes, sir.
If some part of the year the tariff is less than 7,500 and in the season time it is more than 7,500, then how the ITC will be dealt with? That is one more issue in this.
No,
So,
if it is,
after the amendment of specified premises, the taxability will come only in the next year, no, sir,
Next
18%.
year. Next year.
Next year, as per the amendment to specified premises.
Arupji, what happens in
No.
hotels is that in season time, that like here in Rajasthan, in off season, all the rooms are generally below 7,500. But when the season time comes, then the room rates are going beyond 7,500. So in many of the hotels, it might not be the case of simpliciter. It be falling within the scope of exclusively exempted.
right, that is also another point, right?
So it might be a case that out of 12 months, 10 months, there might be a case that all the rooms are going going below 7,500. But in season time, they might be going. So there might be small hotels which might be falling in the category of providing exclusively exempted services. But in many other cases, it might be a case of proportionately exempted and proportionately taxable.
Yes, that is also another ground. Yes.
Sir, is there any option here? I mean, we have to see the notification that we can still opt for 18% with full ITC. Is this option available or
Not when you are below
No.
7.5.
compulsory for if you are
Yeah.
having yes?
I don't
Right,
think you'll have that option.
Yes, yes. Okay, sir.
So
So
it's a conditional notification or depends on that. If it is a conditional notification, then we can claim 18%. If it is absolute condition,
Yes.
then we will have to use.
Right.
So Arupji, are you saying that the house is on the point that this is a relaxation which is given to the hotel industry?
No, sir, it's not a relaxation, it's a pain. Yeah, but what they said is that in the meeting that main emphasis here is for the small hotels. उनका तो ITC ज्यादा रहता नहीं है, तो उनके लिए this rate thing will become a huge advantage. Because now cost to customer is reducing. So that is one thing they would.
Arupji, this will make business unfeasible for a hotel on rent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
yeah. Because he is going to lose all that. ITC will definitely be more than the differential 7%.
Yeah. The long-term
So,
lease,
yeah.
they will face a problem. Long-term
In
lease.
that case, the ITC is of huge amount.
Yes.
In fact, in the current scenario, a lot of hotels and others are into this model of renting of complete property to a hotel manager, I mean, hotel operators, right?
Yes.
So it will have a huge impact.
Most of the big hotels, they are doing this only.
Management service fee.
Yes.
Management service.
Yeah, the big hotels or like Taj, they are taking the property on rent and then they run it in their own brand name. Then they give a share or anything to the landlord or the property owner. That type of scene is only practiced normally. So that type of hotels will be facing a huge problem. But they will be coming in the specific premises. So these big hotels, they will be coming in the category of specific premises. So that may not be affecting them. But a smaller hotels, it will be a problem.
So on a lighter note, till now, everybody wanted to be below 7,500, not to become a specified premises, to pay 18% on restaurant. Now everybody will try to be, charge more than 7,500 wherever it's possible, so that they don't have to, I think, forego the ITC. So now that is the shift we have to see.
So Aruji, there are two issues. First is regarding applicability of 17.2 and 18.4.
Yes.
So in case, what's the view of the house that in case where they are partially taxable and partially exempted. So in my opinion, in that case, 18.4 would not be applicable.
Yes, 18.4.
And if at all anyone is taking a benefit of 18.4, then in that case, he has to ensure for the entire period of 5 years that no room goes beyond 7,500, or specifically that room wherein the asset has been put and credit has been claimed does not go beyond 7,500. So that would be a pretty tough ask.
That will be tough. Yeah, that will be.
That would be. And secondly, on the part of that, the hotels would be suffering because 7,500 without ITC.
Evening.
We are seeing it only only from one perspective of ITC not being allowed for 18%, but at the same time, if we see, there are long-term benefits to the hotels because all the food items which were there in 12% have been reduced to 5%. And the inputs for which they were not getting the credit of, say, cement or any construction for 28%, now that is brought to 18%. So that is a corresponding benefit which they have got by reduction of tax rate, because as also for the restaurant part, they were not getting credit of any of the food item, but now that rate has been reduced from 12 to 5%. And if I was going through the goods list of goods wherein the rate has been reduced, so there are many items, consumables, the handicrafts and the wooden furniture and the daily consumables which we use in rooms, for which the rates of tax has been reduced, and that is a permanent benefit for them.
Yeah, in a long term, it's a benefit, because ultimately whatever consumables they're consuming for the management of the hotel, that is also reduced. No? So that is the thing. That's why hotel industry at large is happy. But yes, as we are discussing right now, that people who are doing on this management service model, wherein maybe the hotel is of, say, Mr. X. Now Mr. X is given to the Taj Groups. Taj Group is doing the entire management, and they pay a lump sum, a management service fee or lease rental fee, whatever name they give. So there the ITC that is coming to the Taj Groups, that will get blocked. So again, that will.
But generally, these chain hotels do not have the rate of less than 7,500.
That is again another thing. But no, now because of competition, there are like I was in Bokaro or maybe Jamshedpur. I've seen Taj, they are charging much below 5,000.
That might be a 1 or 2 months off-season time.
Yeah. So that will be there.
Nah.
But even one day, if it exceeds the 7,500 from next year onwards, the whole thing will become taxable now, sir?
No, sir.
After the specific.
No, that is only for restaurant.
That is for the restaurant. It's for the hotel accommodation.
Yeah. Okay.
So hotel accommodation is again bifurcated. Wherever it's 7,000, less than 7,500, that is only 5% without IC.
5%. Yeah. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Deepak ji, over to you.
Let's move on. So this is a good discussion. Now, Section 14, we are all aware. This is the basic that 2 out of 3 criteria we will have to consider. And if the supply is happened prior and invoice is also issued prior, then old rate and retrospect and corresponding changes on rate. Okay. But the question here is, we have a relaxation for goods. We have relaxation for goods, which says that a date of receipt is not to be considered, right? So in case there is a change of rate, and now invoice has been issued, payment has been received, but I will not consider the payment received. Say a scenario of this case, where the supply has happened before and payment also has been received before. Okay. Now, tax rate to be applied, old rate is fine, but it says that whichever is earlier. So payment received is earlier, but the time of supply is not payment received for goods. So in that scenario, what will be the rate I have to charge?
Deepak ji, if my understanding is correct, so if supply and payment are before, it says only the payment date per se. So not whichever is earlier, but in any case, I understand your point that if payment is before. So I'll just give my view on this. So the relaxation, I think you're pointing out to 60/2017 notification. So where, exactly. So where it doesn't talk about the time of supply per se, which is still by Section 14 only. just gives an exemption for payment, or we can say delay in payment till the date of invoice. So the payment
Okay.
will happen later when the invoice is raised, but the time of supply necessarily, I think, will have to go by section 14 only.
Correct. So what will be the implication is when you issue a invoice after 22nd, but these two criteria are met. So if you issue an invoice, you will have to insert a new rate, old rate, right?
Yeah, but my question again is, in case of goods, can we issue the invoice after the supply is done? Because if you look at section 31, the invoice has to accompany the goods and it has to be before the goods. So probably your question is for services or for goods?
So for goods, we can't do that. So in case that has happened, so that is a violation of the section that, yes, I have issued the invoice late. Okay. That I agree. There is a violation. So then what happens? If there is a violation, that's a separate violation. But the rate of tax will be old rate for an invoice which is issued later on. Will that be a challenge?
Yeah, I guess it's section 14 only. So,
Sorry, sir.
I mean, the rate of tax, my view is section 14 only holds.
Right.
Deepak ji, can I raise one query regarding 18.4? Supposing the wholesale dealers of medicines, in whose case lot of medicines have become 0%, and all other are 12 or 12%, supposing, or 18% or 5%. Huh? So in that case, how to apply 18.4, sir? In case of 0% items, what I will do, whatsoever stock is with me, I will reverse their corresponding ITC. That can be reversed. And what is the other limb of that? That whatsoever balance you are having, that will lapse. So, sir, how to go about that kindly? 18.4 has two limbs, na? One, he says that you reverse the whole of the corresponding proportionate credit. And then he says that entire balance will be lapsed. So how to determine that? How to calculate that, sir?
Yeah, I'll just produce 18.4. So there's a calculation mechanism, right?
No, that is there, but then say that then he says, as the case provided that the balanced input as credit if lying in the electing credit shall be lapsed.
Right.
So how to that proviso to 18.4? How to apply that, sir, in these cases where are lot of goods mixed, exempt, and all those things? Sir, have you thought about this? Anybody? RPG,
Sir, it says when it becomes wholly exempt.
Yes, sir. Yes.
In your case, the goods have become wholly exempt?
Yeah, from it is in case of medicine, certain medicines have become 0%. Now they are
Okay.
exempt, and if they are exempt, sir, so I will on the stock I will do the reversal of the proportionate that I have to do 18.4. But what about proviso to 18.4, which says that whatsoever balance will lie in the electronic credit ledger, that will lapse. So how to calculate that balance proportion pertaining to those 0% which have become exempt?
I think, sir, you are reading this whole exempt. I mean, how you are reading this whole exempt is a very important question here. This wholly exempt lies that your complete supply, all the supplies have become an exempt.
Yes, sir. They are. I can read it. Where any registered person who has availed of input as credit opts to pay tax under section 10, or where the goods or services are both supplied by him become wholly exempt.
Wholly exempt, yes.
Sir, goods or services
or both. Yes.
Wholly exempt means that his entire goods are exempt. If sir that we take,
yes.
If you say that, then we don't have to reverse anything of the stock also, sir. Then
here you have to do reversal because of 17.2, because when you make supplies of those exempted goods, whatever is the ITC related to those, that you have to reverse. 18.4 will not come into play
18.
in this scenario, where that person is having, that pharmaceutical person is having goods of different rate classification. Some of them have become exempt. So the reversal will come due to 17.2 when that supply happens. It will not come due to 18.4. 18.4 will not be applicable in this.
Thank you, sir.
That's
Thank you.
fine.
Thank you for the 17.2 will apply here. Huh? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, 17.2 will apply when you make supplies of that exempt supplies. Then whatever is the ITC related to that, that has to be exempted. The directly related ITC and common ITC.
Correct. Correct.
So, sir, 18.4 will apply only where his entire business has become exempt.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the twin conditions, we have to read the section holistically. One is who is going into composition, and the second scenario is becoming wholly exempt. So we read it harmonically. It is for those situations only, sir.
Sir, in case of a manufacturer where his main item has become exempt, but his byproducts are residue, they are taxable, sir. Like scrap, they are taxable. Then, sir, we should consider it as a wholly exempt or what, sir? In case of a pencil, supposing, sir, in case of pencils.
Pencils, sir, if you're selling only pencils and
Sir, a manufacturer of pencils.
Yeah.
When he will sell his scrap, that will be taxable now.
Scrap would be taxable, let us say, as wood pulp, or as say the same rate as the goods which are there.
Yes.
What is the scrap provision? So we'll have to go into detail, but
That will, that I think, sir, that will not be considered as, yeah, that will not be considered as wholly exempt, sir, because you have certain supplies which are taxable.
So that has to be checked. No, very nice distinction. 18.4 and 72 will have to be checked accordingly. Huh? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I have a query, or rather a point for the earlier discussion related to the hotel industry.
Yes,
RPG told that we have done, or somebody told that we have done a lot of capital expenditure during 1.5 year, and being because of the rule, we reverse in a 5 years time. We have seen that the rate related to the this hotel industry has been changed, or similar to there is an option to pay at 5% without ITC and 18% with ITC, like for transportation. So if my product today becomes the 0%, suppose in any of the case in a manufacturing industry, or in a 5% without ITC case, can I reverse my ITC related to capital goods as a temporary reversal? And if at all the government comes with the time and change the rate from 0% to 5% or 18% again, so I can take it back to my ITC credit ledger. Can that be the methodology can be taken into?
Why do you want to go to this temporary mechanism? I mean, there are, I think, expressively provision. Yeah.
The current product lead from 18% or from 12%, they reduce to 0%.
Right.
And I have the capital goods, ITC of capital goods in balance. So it's of 2 years old only. I am not sure whether the product would be remain in that 0% or something in future as well. The government may come up and say, no, your product to be taxed at 5% because of the so and so reason. So whatever I reversed when the capital goods, when my product becomes 0%, I reverse the entire thing because of the 18.4. But now government again coming within a 1 year time and saying that your product is now 5%. So I cannot take again the whatever the capital goods ITC I have reversed at the time of a 0% rate reduction. So can I do the use the mechanism of temporary reversal? Hope I am clear.
So there's no provision to reclaim such credit, right? Once you have to reverse, then there is no provision which allows you to reclaim it. You can do a portal thing, but there's no provision according to reclaim it.
18.1D can apply?
Yeah, exactly. So
Deepakji, there is rule 43C for capital goods, wherein the capital goods which were used for exclusively exempted are used for making taxable supplies.
Yes, sir. The section 18(1)(d) also covers that.
Correct. Okay. So I need to reverse entirely, right? And without taking into the temporary.
No, again, Anandji, that has to be seen because in case of hotel industry, as I said, that it is very difficult to predict and be static that none of the rooms would be going beyond 7,500. Supposedly, there is a hotel and there is a marriage garden, then and the entire place is given as a cohesive unit as a mule property for the occasion. Then the rate of tax on the entire premises would be 18%. So in that case also, irrespective what is the room rate, there would be taxable. There would be tax on the rooms which have been given on rent. So again, it was as I said that it is very difficult to say that for a hotel industry that 7,500 becomes a wholly exempt for the entire year and for the entire period of the fixed asset for which they are being used. So in my opinion, the better part would be that if credit has been claimed, it is reversed on a proportionate basis on a month-to-month basis between a taxable and exempted supply.
So, but for capital goods, it will not apply. No? 18(4) we have already decided it, or is there a different view?
No, Guriji,
only 17(2) will apply for that Rule 43. You're saying for proportionate month to month.
Yes. Because there is one view that once 7,500 less value has come, then the entire hotel industry, if they are going below 7,500, it would be generally exempt and all their supplies would be exempt.
No, here I think we need to test the entry. I was just searching for that. The exact entry. Anandji, sorry, Deepakji, do you have it with you? The exact entry for this accommodation?
Yes, sir. That is saying 5% taxable without ITC. It's not wholly exempt.
No.
It is taxable.
What is it? What is the entry saying? That's
5% without
5% without ITC.
No, accommodation where any unit is per day 7,500 per unit, something like that. No.
Arup, the details will come later.
Yeah. No, I think, but in the entry also I was seeing that day. It is not saying that if one unit is becoming less than 7,500, then all the units will become.
No. That is not being said. But it is generally being assumed that generally the hotel units would be below 7,500 and all their supplies for all the rooms, not only for single room, all the rooms would be less than 7,500. So they would be becoming generally exempt, wholly exempt.
Yeah, that could be an assumption bit. So I think we'll have to stop with section 14. And if you want to give some final concluding remarks, Deepakji, aapko to laga
Yes. There are more slides, but okay, we've had good discussion.
Maybe. Yes.
Yeah. So there were some other pointers on.
Can you just share the pointers? We'll click through them and then come. Yeah.
Deepakji, in this
some pointers on
particular slide,
yes,
which is being displayed, the last row, section 14, the last row, you have said that supply after, invoice before, payment before, and the rate is the new.
Which would be old, right?
Then it is typo. It's a repetition of the fifth.
It should be old, no?
Yes, old one.
Yeah.
But it's there in the fifth row only.
Yeah, it's a repetition.
Yeah. Okay.
And Deepak, if you can quickly share some of the pointers, we'll keep thinking, then in the next discussion we'll have it.
Okay. So the other point is what I had was what happens to the ITC. I think we have discussed this, but ITC validity, which is availed to, which can be used to discharge future output liability, we can claim it. Anti-profitable provision, as we were discussing, it is not in force. So obligation to pass on that. This we have discussed that how the revenue will cast this obligation. So we will have to see the contractual act and like various discussions we had on competition commission and other things we will have to see. Then tax rate, which is changed with restriction on ITC. This we have discussed on 18.4 and 17.2. This we have some clarity now. And moving from taxable to exempted, right? Then all the ITC will have to be lapsed. This is clear whenever there is your sale is completely exempted. Post-sale discount, I think this is a completely different discussion which we have to have.
This we have to discuss the next. Okay, so we'll study about post-sale discount thoda detail mein. everything,
Yes,
and
sir.
then we'll prepare it can come in the next section. So
Sure,
thank
sir.
you very much for your wonderful time, Deepak. We are really grateful to you. You have taken this responsibility at such a short notice. So that's the beauty of our faculty members, that we just take responsibilities. So I think Arpitji, your final remarks, and then we'll go to Gurjit sir for a vote of thanks. Arpitji, first to you.
Thank you, Roopji, and thank you, Deepakji. And we have continued with the tradition that the speaker prepares 10 slides and we stop at 3.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So that is the beauty of the discussion, that we are not going beyond 3 in one session. And that's why we have such an in-depth analysis of each and every provision. Thank you to the speaker and all the participants. And it was such a nice deliberation on various aspects and nitty-gritties. Handing over the session to Gurjit ji for the vote of thanks.
Gurjit sir, over to you.
So you have already said that, but we must appreciate Deepak Kothari ji for the efforts he has put in. Not only compiling the things, he has put thoughts into it, tried to raise queries, etc., so that we could exercise our brain also and see what is coming up. So he has given a lot of thought into it. I'm sure that past night he might have slept very little. Yes. Building up all these things, or at least yesterday evening he would have spent long hours on it. So thank you, Deepak. Thank you. And we hope Arupda would allow in the next SMS, unless and until something else is coming up, about the credit note scenario, the post-sale discounts, etc. Yes. That needs a detailed discussion. Sure. So we eagerly await Deepak ji, and we'll like him to keep on putting efforts like this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for engaging all of us, the entire group member. And we must say the participation today also was, at one stage of time, it was more than 35 participants. So all the participants must also be thanked for joining in and participating. Thank you.
Thank you, Gurjit sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So before we end, I would just like to express my deep gratitude to all our admins. Unniji, who is not here today because he had some other preoccupation. Venuji, who also has a preoccupation, but he still joined and then had to leave. And of course, Arpitji. So thanks to all our
and
admins.
Arupji also.
So because of the efforts, because of the thoughts that we think in, and our constant thought is how can we make the discussion more fruitful, more vibrant, and more useful for all of us. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day ahead. And we'll see every one of you on
all.
next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.